Let's talk about document needed for your immigrant visa interview.
USA MONDE.
Hello, my name is John and welcome. Applying for an immigrant visa is a complex process that requires the submission of different documents to support your application. These documents are essential, as they provide evidence of your identity, so they know who you are, your eligibility, and also the legality of your application. The document you need to submit can vary depending on the type of visa you are applying for. But there are several common requirements. And in this video, I will do my best to cover the key documents needed for your immigrant visa interview, the reason why each document is necessary, and also some tips on how to prepare those documents. The first document we're gonna talk about is your passport. Why do you need your passport? Well, the passport is like the most critical document as it serves as the primary proof of your identity and your nationality. Okay, so you're gonna need your passport. So for an immigrant visa, your passport has to be valid for at least 6 months beyond the date you intend or you planning to enter the United States of America. Okay, the reason why that 6 months of validity is to ensure that your passport will remain valid throughout the entire immigration process. Okay, so two tips about passport is to ensure that it has enough blank pages for visa stamps, because the consular officers will stamp a visa in your passport. So make sure it has enough blank pages. The second tip is that if you have like a dual nationality, carry the passport from the country where you are applying. Okay, let's say you are from Benin in Germany, or let's say South Africa. Well, if you are living in South Africa, you are applying your visa in South Africa, it's better to carry South African passport. Okay, so those are the two tips I can give you regarding passport. The second document we're going to talk about is your DS-260 confirmation page. So why that? Because when you fill out your DS-260, well, you're gonna print out the confirmation page, and there is a barcode on that. Once they scan the barcode, they can get information on the DS-260 regarding your background, your personal history, your education, your employment, your family details. Okay, so that's why you have to take the DS-260 confirmation page. So make sure when you fill out your DS-260, you fill it out correctly, because if you don't fill it correctly, when they scan that document, they're gonna see that okay, the information on the form is not accurate, or the form is incomplete. So make sure you complete it correctly before you print out the confirmation page. Make sure you double check any error on the DS-260, because those mistakes can delay the whole process. Those are the few tips I can give you regarding DS-260 confirmation page. You don't have to take the DS-260 itself, the immigrant visa application itself, to the interview. Just the confirmation page is enough. The third document we're gonna talk about is your civil documents. Okay, so when you apply for your DS-260, you file your DS-260, you have to submit some civil document. So civil documents basically are documents that provide proof of your personal history and family relationships. Okay, so these documents vary depending on your country of origin, but generally they include something like birth certificate, which confirms your identity and age. Okay, on your birth certificate, they can know that, okay, it's you, and also they will see your date of birth. They know, so they can know your age. When I say they, I'm talking about the consular officers. Another civil document is marriage certificate. So, if applicable, because if your petitioner is not your spouse or your husband, you won't provide that marriage certificate. But in case the petitioner is your spouse or your husband, you will provide that marriage certificate. So that document, the marriage certificate itself, proves your marital status, okay, which is necessary for family-based immigration case. Because I'm talking about, this video is roughly about family-based, sponsor visa, immigrant visa. Okay, so some of you guys who are in F1, F2, F3, F4 category, and also parent of citizens who are in IR5 category, and the spouse of citizens or permanent resident, U.S. citizens or permanent resident who are in IR1, CR1, or F2A category. Okay, so those are the civil document. Another civil document is divorce or death certificate, okay, if applicable. So if you were previously married, these documents are required, just to prove the legal termination of that previous marriage. That's what it is, okay? Or if somebody died, then you have to prove it that, okay, maybe the petitioner died, then you have to, provide that death certificate. So divorce and death certificate are considered as a civil document. Another civil document is a police certificate, okay, also known as police clearance certificate, PCC, police clearance certificate. So that provides information about your criminal history. So you will provide the police clearance certificate for any country you have lived in for 6 months or longer after the age of 16. Okay, so those are the civil document we're going to cover in this video. Well, if you provide you submit all the civil document to NVC, make sure you bring them to the interview as well. Why do you have to provide those civil documents? So like I say, those documents establish your identity or family relationship, and also ensure that you are not banned from entering the United States of America due to past criminal history or misrepresentation. Well, 2 tips I can provide for a civil document is, make sure you obtain a certified copy or have them translated into English if they are in different language. Okay, so let's say they are in French, you have to translate them into English. Another tip is to ensure that all documents are up to date and meet the requirement of the U.S. Embassy or consulate where you are applying. Okay, if they are not up to date, the consular officer will reject them. The 4th document we're going to talk about here, which is not that necessary to bring to the interview, is your affidavit of support. Reason why I'm saying it's not that necessary is because according to NVC, when you go to the page, they mention that you don't have to bring your affidavit of support or any supporting financial supporting documents of that affidavit of support to the interview. But in case the U.S. consulate asks you to fill out another affidavit of support, which is I-64, you have to fill it out and take it to the interview. Okay, but like I say, if they didn't ask you, they will get access to those documents, the one you already submit to NVC. Okay, they will have that before you go to the interview. But in case, I'm going to repeat this, in case they ask you, you have to provide that. So that affidavit of support is basically a contract between the sponsor and the U.S. government. just to ensure that you, the immigrant or the intended immigrant, will not become a public charge. That's the only reason why the petitioner have to file the IA-64. So, just to know that the petitioner will be financially responsible of you, the intended immigrant. So 2 tips regarding that is to, the sponsor, okay, the sponsor in your case must provide supporting financial document like tax return and employment verification. They have to submit those. Most of the time they will submit them to NVC, National Visa Sender, or even if after they submit it, you still have to bring those a copy or an original of those documents to the interview. Like I say, if the consulate, the U.S. consulate asks for them. The second tip I'm gonna talk about is to make sure the sponsor meet the income requirement, okay? Because the sponsor has to meet income requirement. Most of the time is 125% of the poverty guideline. In case your spouse or your husband is in the military, the requirement is 100% of the poverty guideline. The 5th document we're going to talk about is your medical examination and vaccination records, okay? So why the consular officers want those documents? Well, the U.S. requires all immigrant visa applicant to undergo or go and do their medical examination by an authorized physician. I mentioned this in one of my videos. You cannot just go to any physician to do your medical examination. It got to be an authorized physician or approved physician by the U.S. consulate. Okay, so this exam itself is to ensure that the applicant does not have any disease or conditions that could pose a public health risk. Okay, they don't want that. They want you to be healthy before you enter the United States of America. Same thing for the vaccination record. It's just to prove that you are up to date with the required vaccinations. Okay, so that's the reason why they ask for those documents. All right. 2 tips regarding this to for your medical examination. You have to schedule that examination, like I said, with U.S. Embassy approved physician as soon as possible once you get your interview appointment letter. Okay, when you go to your medical examination appointment, make sure you take your vaccination record, so you avoid any additional cost. Because if you don't have your record with you, your vaccination record, they're gonna make you take other vaccination. Okay, that itself can save you some money if you have the record with you. The 6th document we're going to talk about here is your passport style photographs. Well, when you go to your immigrant visa interview, you have to take passport style photographs to the interview. Well, the consular officers will use the photos, for immigrant visa application. Okay, because it's part of the immigrant visa application, and also it's used for identification purpose. They have to know that you are the one who really apply for the immigrant visa. Okay, and then once since they're gonna have your passport also, they will check your photo with the one in the passport. Make sure you are the person who's supposed to get a visa to go to United States of America. Okay, so quick tips on just follow the State Department guidelines regarding photo specifications. Well, because you cannot just take any photo. You have to make sure that you take a photo with a neutral expression, so ensure that there's no shadow on your face or background. So they have some type of guideline on the website you can follow to make sure you have a correct photo. You provide a correct passport style photographs. The 7th document we're going to talk about is your visa interview appointment letter. You cannot go to your visa appointment, immigrant visa appointment, without bringing your visa appointment letter. Okay, it's very important. So why the appointment letter? Just to confirm that you have a schedule an interview at the U.S. consulate, because the appointment will contain information about the date, the time, and the location of your appointment. So they will check that to know for sure you are the one who's supposed to come to the interview. Quick tips regarding your interview appointment letter is to make sure you print it out and bring it with you to the interview. Don't forget that. The email you receive, you use that, you print it out, and you take that. Make sure you arrive to your appointment at least 30 minutes in advance, 15 to 30 minutes in advance, because most of the time the security screening will take time, so it's better to go there a little early. Okay, another document we're going to talk about here is your criminal record and court documents. Okay, if you submit any criminal records document and court document to NVC, you have to bring the original and a copy of those documents to the interview. Okay, so basically, let's say if you have been arrested or convicted of a crime, you must provide or serve a copy of your criminal record and court document. Okay, they want to see that. It's very important to bring those documents because it will allow the consular officers to check your eligibility for the immigrant visa you're applying for. The consular officer will now review the document to see if you qualify for a waiver or other forms of reliefs. Okay, that's why it's very important to bring those documents. A quick tip. A few tips regarding that is to be honest about your criminal history. Okay, because if you don't disclose this information, it can result to a permanent ban from the United States of America. But like I say, if you already submit those documents to NVC, chances are the consular officers already go through those documents, know for sure if you're lying or not. Okay, just tell the truth. Another thing you have to do is consult any immigration attorney to determine if you are eligible for a waiver before even you go to the interview, because you don't want to waste your time. Okay, so it's important. Another document is your military records. Okay, if you submit that document to NVC, because it's not those documents are no document that every immigrant visa applicant will submit, but if it's applicable to you, you have to bring those documents. So why the military records is just to see if you serve in the military in any country before, or if you did serve in the military in any country, you have to provide that document. So that document will provide information about your service history and also any disciplinary actions that may affect your visa eligibility. So just tell the truth on that as well. Bring the correct document so they know for sure you have served in the military in another country. So quick tips regarding that. Obtain certified copy of your military record. That's all you need. You need a certified copy. Make sure that the record are translated into English. Like I say, if it's in French, you have to translate it in English. Okay. So another document you have to bring is basically the translate document of any document that needs to be translated. Okay. So if your document, like I said, documents are not in English, you must translate by a certified translator. Okay, make sure that the person who will translate your document is certified to translate that document. Quick tips regarding that is just to make sure that the translation are complete and certified, and also attach the original document of to its translation for submission. Okay, so you have to attach the original of the document. Usually you put the translate on top and then the original on the bottom, and organize those documents. So preparing for an immigrant visa interview, it requires careful attention to to detail. You have to make sure you pay attention to what you're doing. You don't miss any document. So because each document serves a specific purpose in verifying your eligibility, like I say, for an immigrant visa, and also ensure that your application is processed smoothly. Okay, make sure you double check the specific requirement for your visa category, and also consult with an immigration expert, okay, if you have any doubt or concern about the document. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in another video.